Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Lennon. Mobilized. Who's your daddy? Name the novel. Ouch. And let's celebrate. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. A mechanical device used to indicate musical tempo. Okay, Player 1. Correct. Player 1, you pick again, please. Fly agaric is one of these spore-producing fungi of the Basidiomycetes class. It's Player 1. Hey, you're right. We return to you, Player 1. It can be a powerful person in entertainment, or a member of a Muslim dynasty that once ruled India. It's Player 1. Good. You again, Player 1. Someone who moves from relationship to relationship is a serial one. Here's the response we were looking for. A monogamist. Select again. This large tube-shaped pasta is often stuffed with cheese and baked with a tomato sauce. Okay, Player 1. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 2. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Okay, Player 3. That's right, way to go. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. For his subversive activities, Lennon was banished to this region in 1897. Let's hear it, Player 3. Good for you. You get to pick again, Player 3. Lenin returned to Russia from Europe following the overthrow of the Tsar in this year. Let's hear it, Player 3. No. Sorry. Anyone else? Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. The patron saint of lovers is honored on this annual holiday. Okay, Player 1. Good for you. Please pick again, Player 1. Former U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson founded this annual observance devoted to the environment. Okay, Player 1. That's not it. Any other takers? Okay, Player 2. No. Any other takers? It's Player 3. That's it. Player 3, you start. Customs on this 121st day of the year include dancing around a pole and giving baskets to friends and family. We're talking about May Day. Player 3, pick again. Collecting money for UNICEF on this holiday was begun in 1950 by a Philadelphia Sunday school class. Yes, player 1? Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player 2. That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player 3.
Yeah!
That's it. Player 3, back to you. Meaning a coming, it's the period before Christmas that begins on the Sunday nearest to November 30th. Okay, player 1. Correct. You've got some money again. Player 1, where do we start? The rheumatoid type of this is 3 times as common in women as in men. Okay, player 1. Select again. When these are less than 5 minutes apart and last about a minute, you're in labor, and the fun is just beginning. It's player 1. Good. Player 1, back to you. And I'll hand it off to Kelly.
Look out! A symbol depicting waves, a skull and crossbones, and a person fleeing warn that a device is a source of this.
Yes, player 1? Good for you. Please pick again, player 1. Per the Major League Baseball injury report, Randy Johnson missed his last regular season start of 2006 due to back these. Yes, player 2. That's correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we 24-star Kiefer. Okay, player 1. Good for you. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1 has control of the board. An amputee may suffer real pain from this ghostly type of limb. The correct response is phantom. We return to you, player 1. Actress Jamie Lee. Let's hear it, player 1. Yep. You again, player 1. International pop star Enrique. Player 2. Good. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right?
Yeah!
It's the Daily Double. Player 2, you're in last place. Player 2, give us a wager. And the Daily Double clue. Boxer turned dancer, Lila. Correct. You again, player 2. Emmy and Tony Award-winning actress, Amanda. It's player 2.
Oh.
Nope. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player one. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player three. That's it. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player three. Make it 1937. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. Yes, player two. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player one. Correct. Player one, where do we start? 1813. Happy for all her maternal feelings was the day Mrs. Bennet got rid of her two most deserving daughters. Here's what we wanted. Pride and Prejudice. We return to you, player one. 1932. In the 4,000 rooms of the center, the 4,000 electric clocks simultaneously struck 4. Okay, player three. Good. All right, let's get back into this. Player three has 1902. The horror. The horror. Here's what we were looking for. Heart of Darkness. Player three, back to you. 1961. Once upon a time, there was a Martian named Valentine Michael Smith. Yes, player three? Correct. Select again. Lenin led this majority revolutionary faction to power in the October Revolution. Here's what we wanted. Bolsheviks. Player three, you pick again, please. Following the establishment of a dictatorship, Lenin changed his political party's name to this. Player three? No, that's not right. Any other takers? Yes, player one? You are correct. And the last clue for $1,000. After Lenin's death in 1924, this man began purging rivals and eventually took over the top spot. Okay, player three. Good.
Yeah! Woo!
Player two will select first in Double Jeopardy right after this. We start the Double Jeopardy categories with this one. The gall of that guy. Astronomy. Old, odd, and obscure words. Martial arts. Samuel L. Jackson. And the Bible. Player two, where do we start? There's no beating around this archaic term for a wine shop or tavern. Let's hear it, player one. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player one. It really burns me up that febrific means having one of these. Player one? That's correct. Lacrimiform literally means shaped like this. Here's the correct response. A tear. Player one. Pick again. A thurible is an ornamental container in which this is burned during a religious ceremony. Here's the correct response. Incense. Player one, you pick again, please. Wynton Marsalis should know that to bisonate means to blow this horn, his specialty. Player one? Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, player two. That's correct. On the plus side again. Where do we begin, player two? In the late 80s, Sam was the rehearsal stand-in for this comedy legend on his self-titled sitcom. Yes, player one? Right. Player one, start us. In the West, the ninja combat weapons known as shuriken are called throwing these. Yes, player one? Yes. Player one, back to you for our... In karate, a hiji is a strike with this body part. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean? Let's hear it, player two. Good. Where do we begin, player two? The folding Filipino fighting knife called a balisong is also known by this insect name. Here's the correct response. A butterfly knife. You again, player two. Krav Maga is the official self-defense system of this Mideast country's defense forces. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player three. That's not it. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's player two. Correct. Please pick again, player two. As Rachel died bearing him, she called him Benoni, son of my suffering. His father Jacob used this name. Here's the correct response. Benjamin. Please pick again, player two. When the Jews of Persia are ordered killed, Mordecai puts on sackcloth accessorized with these. Let's hear it, player two. Right you are. You again, player two. In Luke, Jesus is tried both by Herod and by this Roman governor. Player three? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Pilot. Player 2, choose again. The Jews held these people in low esteem, so they're made to look good in Luke. Here's what we were looking for. The Samaritans. Please pick again. Player 2. De Gaulle's June 18, 1940 broadcast in this city asking for France's leadership led to a death sentence in a French court. It's player 1. Sorry. Any other takers? Here's what we wanted. London. Please pick again. Player 2. De Gaulle wanted a small mobile army versus static theories like this defensive line named for a minister of war. It's player 3. Right. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 3, you make the next selection as well. Answer, 1 of the daily doubles. You're in second now, but with an opportunity to catch up a bit. Player 3, all right, here's your clue. A bokken and a shinai are 2 types of swords used in this Japanese martial art, whose name means way of the sword. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Kendo. We return to you, player 3. Charles de Gaulle fought in this February to July 1916 battle in which the Germans did not pass. We're talking about Verdun. Player 3, pick again. In 1965, de Gaulle won the presidency by defeating this socialist, later France's leader from 1981 to 1995. We're talking about François Mitterrand. Player 3, you pick again, please. In 1925, de Gaulle was promoted to the staff of the Supreme War Council by this marshal. Okay, player 3. Sorry. Anyone else? Here's the response we were looking for. Henri-Philippe Pétain. Please pick again, player 3. In 1979, these were discovered around Jupiter. Saturn has them too. Player 1? Good for you. Where do we begin, player 1? The Milky Way is classified as this type of galaxy from the way its arms sweep around. Here's the response we were looking for. Spiral. Player 1, back to you for answer. The second daily double. You are currently in second place. Player 1, please select your wager. Answer this. This name for radio sources that are among the brightest and most distant objects in the universe was coined in 1964. The correct response is quasar. Player 1, choose again. A list of this planet's moons, including Oberon and Titania, reads like a who's who of Shakespeare. Player 3? That's not right. Anyone else? Player 1? Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, Player 2. Good. Yeah! Player 2, start us. You can have a roaring good time watching this meteor shower that put on an historic show in 1833. It's Player 1. Oh, sorry. Anyone else? We're talking about the Leonids. We return to you, Player 2. Sam proclaimed, "And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee," in this 1994 film. Let's hear it, Player 1. Correct. Player 1, make a selection. Sam made brief appearances as this character in Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Let's hear it, Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1, pick again. As Elijah Price, Sam was the frail antithesis to Bruce Willis in this 2000 flick. Here's the correct response. Unbreakable. You again, Player 1. Lucius Best was the secret identity of this ultra-cool Incredibles character, voiced by Sam. Here's the correct response. Frozone. And now the $2,000 clue. The first and second of these books cover the same period as 2 Samuel and 1 and 2 Kings. Player 1? Yeah! Right you are, on the plus side again. Oh, sorry, Player 3. You'll not be progressing to Final Jeopardy! Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. National holidays. Please enter your wager. All right, players, this is what it comes down to. Here is the final Jeopardy clue. June 23rd, National Day in this country, began as a celebration of the birthday of Grand Duchess Charlotte. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will set you back. Let's see your response. With that correct response, you will gain. You've come out ahead as our champion, Player 1. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.